Good afternoon. You got some people filtering in here, so we'll give it a few minutes and then we'll get cracking. So, how's it going, Ronnie? Oh, you're on mute.
I'm doing really good.
Oh, good, good. Excellent.
My granddaughter turned 1 year old, uh, and the good thing about her birthday, which is February 6th, 206, is it's easy for a grandfather to remember because of my telephone area code is 206. So that's one I will remember.
Oh, very cool.
Congratulations on the birthday. That's an exciting milestone.
She also was in the New York Times. Uh, my daughter saw a call for a psychologist writing an article about babies giggling as a way of communicating and laughter being the best medicine, of course. She sent in a video and it was in Saturday's New York Times. So, along with a dozen other babies, but what a proud grandpa was is able to uh, cavell a little bit.
That's super cool. Hi, Daria.
Hello, good afternoon.
Okay, we'll give it one more minute and then we'll start with what we got. Okay, well, I'd like to welcome everyone out here today. We won't wait too much longer. So we can start close to on time. My name is Michael Neuenschwander. I manage the Prescription Drug Affordability Board here for the Washington State Healthcare Authority. And so today we are having an advisory group meeting with our advisory group for the PDAB, and don't have a huge agenda here today. But we do have some good stuff coming down the pike here in the next month or two. So just kind of wanted to talk about a few things, where we're at, some of the stuff that we can expect to see in the coming months, and then also work with our advisory group members on some of the important pieces of the puzzle that they can help us with and helping spread and share some of our information collecting tools that we have. So, to go ahead and get started, let's see, we'll just do some quick introductions of the team. So again, Mike Neuenschwander, manager for the PDAB. Simon, you want to go next?
Hey everyone, I'm Simon Borman. I'm the policy analyst on the team.
Great. Marina?
Yes, Marina Suzuki, Health Economy Research Manager. I'm mostly looking at all the affordability review items.
Great, thank you. Ryan?
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Bistresi. I'm the Assistant Chief Pharmacy Officer here at the Washington State Healthcare Authority.
Great. Kelly?
Hey, I'm Kelly, and I'm the PDAP data analyst.
Okay, and Jingping?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jinping Xing. I'm the Cost and Quality Analytics Manager.
Great, and Sumaya?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sumaya Sabi. I am Data Analytics and Research Manager here in HCA.
Great, thank you so much. So I think just looking at attendees here, that's our PDAB team that we've got on right now. So do our advisory group members want to introduce themselves here quickly?
I'll introduce myself. I'm Laura Berry. I'm the CEO and founder of Soundview Medical Supply, and we service seniors living in assisted living and adult family homes throughout the state of Washington. Beyond.
Great, thank you.
I'm Ronnie Shore. I'm a retired pharmacist. I spent my career in public health, mental health, and substance use disorders, including 10 years in King County Jail, working as a pharmacist for public health. And I am volunteering with healthcare advocacy groups at this time and have very interested in prescription drug affordability. I think it's a key.
Daria, you want to go next?
Hi, Daria McGrew. I'm Senior Director of State Policy for Pharma, the trade association representing leading pharmaceutical manufacturers in the U.S.
Great, and Jim?
Jim Freeberg, Patient Coalition of Washington, calling in from the car, so I'll be camera off.
Oh, we're just happy to have you. Let's see, did I miss anyone else from the advisory group?
Yeah, right. I see
Okay.
Camille is here as well.
Oh, okay, yep.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, I had some problems with the link, but my name is Camille Pern, and I'm the medical director for cancer care for Kaiser Permanente, Washington.
Perfect. Anyone else that I missed? Great. Okay, so thank you very much. So first, I think to kind of start us off here, I think Marina, do you want to give us a short update on where we're at just in terms of putting together the drug affordability reviews, and then I can go and talk a little bit more kind of about surveys and timelines and other things that are going on.
Sure, sounds good. So we finished collecting the first submissions from all stakeholders. So for the both Embryol and Xtandi manufacturers submitted their forms. And also we received data points from the PBMs and payers. We are first working on the manufacturer submission just to make sure it's completed submission, and it seems like we may have some missing items, and the next step is to reach out to the manufacturers to figure out what can be submitted or not. And so that's going to be our next step. And in terms of using our ABCD or internal data, we are working on with the ABCD team. We kind of figure out some data glitch. So hopefully we'll be getting some data that we can use for the PDAB. And I think the most significant update is Mike already mentioned, but it's the publication of our surveys. So both patient and clinician survey or expert survey is out on the website. And I believe we reached out through our mail list, but any reach out that we can get will be helpful. So for the advisory group members, if you have someone to reach out, either the patients, experts, clinicians who are affected with the Xtandi or Embro, so both surveys are out. So we are just seeking some help for reach out. I think
Great.
that's it.
Great. Thank you, Marina. Yeah. And so kind of along with that, yeah, we're in that point where we've gotten a decent amount of our data put together. We're trying to fine tune some of our internal data and make any corrections that we have there. And then, yes, we have begun collecting data via the surveys for our patients and our providers for both Enbrel and Xtandi. We've sent it out to a lot of our internal mailing lists that we have, Gov Delivery and other groups that we've put together that we've been in contact so far. But yeah, any help that we can get from our board members or advisory group members for other groups or coalitions or email lists that you have, just to circulate that would be great. And we've already begun getting some responses, which is also encouraging as well. So excited to kind of see what happens with that and how the surveys play out. And I think, again, the hardest part that we've been doing here over the fall and winter has just been putting together all of these tools and instruments and trying to get them through the internal approval processes, create the forms and everything to collect the data and the templates and all that background work. And so now that we've got it, I think it'll be a lot easier moving forward. If we find tweaks that we need to do, things that we need to adjust, better ways to collect data, it'll be a lot easier to modify and make edits rather than starting from scratch. So excited to see what we come up with here. And so really moving forward, our timeline is going to be working to have that first draft of our drug reviews and the data that we have in March. If we have anything that's missing, we can look at that and identify it. So that way we can have our kind of finished final product for May and hopefully maybe even close to making decisions on drug affordability for the drugs that we're reviewing. And then moving forward from that, per the legislation, creating that new drug list in June of this year. So that way then we can go in July, start looking at and selecting our next set of drugs for the following year. And so really the goal is now that we have our methodologies down, creating the dashboards to put the drugs in for selection should be much easier. And then, again, because we have the surveys and templates and forms ready to go in terms of data collection, we should be able to select our drugs and then jump right into that data collection phase of the drug reviews and make that an annual cycle of choosing in the summer, drug reviews or data collection in the fall, drug reviews in the winter, and then ready to do another round of drug reviews starting the next summer. So any questions from the advisory group on where we're at, timeline, surveys, any of the stuff that we've discussed thus far? Okay, and actually one other update that I will give, we did also have a good meeting with our the HCA director about the PDAB program as well. And so I will say the legislature and just senior leadership within the Healthcare Authority are also looking at the program and are very interested in seeing what happens here with next steps and where we're going and what we're doing. So I would expect to see some more collaboration and opportunities for the PDAB to showcase its work as we move forward here into the next year or two. So, so with that, then I think we'll kick it over to Simon to discuss the advisory group report.
Hey everyone. So as you know, I'm Simon, and those of you who are on the advisory group, you've seen this as well as the PDAP board members. But what we're basically hoping for is some means through which you can contribute to the affordability review by bringing in your specific expertise. And so we've drafted a report with different sections for each of you based off of your background. And we've taken a stab at drafting 2 to 3 questions that you could answer that would hopefully fill in some details around the affordability of the drugs that may not be answered directly from the data that we receive from the manufacturers or from the payers. If you look at this list and you say, well, these questions aren't exactly relevant, there's a different question that would be more helpful or something else that I'd like to respond to, I would say that the freedom is in your hands to draft questions or to draft responses that you think would be helpful. And what we're hoping is that now that you have this in your hands, that you could work on it over the next few weeks. And by the end of this month, return to us just your 1-page section filled out with your thoughts around the drug. And there's one that you've been sent for Enbrel and one that you've been sent for Xtandi. If you are, say, one of the providers that deals with Xtandi but don't have experience with Enbrel, obviously just fill in those sections that are relevant to you. And if you have any questions, let us know, and we're happy to chat and clarify. Like I said, the goal would be to have this turned in by the end of the month. And if there's anything else beyond this that you think would be helpful to provide to our team, again, we're open, and really the goal is to get your input into this affordability review in whatever way makes sense. So I'll pause there if there's any thoughts or questions. Great. Seeing none, then I can move into is that?
Sorry, one. Yeah, I was waiting. I didn't want to jump in if anybody else wanted to speak. Wanted to give other people a chance first. Just from the trade association perspective, I won't be submitting comments specific to any specific drug. Happy to submit comments that we have submitted before about generally affordability review, but I think also where I can be valuable is when you have a draft of, when there is a draft available for sharing of the affordability reviews, what I will be able to comment on is generally the analysis and how the analysis is framed. So take that as you will. That's where I can fit in. If you have a draft docket, a generic docket ready, or some states are calling it a docket affordability review kind of report, where you're going to be plugging in information. I know you've talked about in the past, you've presented the elements that will be in the report. You've shown that to us. But if you have a draft review docket kind of that is available to share, I can take a look at that. Otherwise, when there is a draft reviews of the first 2 drugs, then I will comment generally on how the analysis is done.
Great. Yeah, no, we always look forward to your thoughts and comments, and I mean that very sincerely, right? Pharma has given us some great feedback, which has helped inform our methodologies and make sure that we're trying to address multiple viewpoints and needs. So we do sincerely appreciate that. So. And then I think the last interesting thing that or Simon, anything else on the advisory group report?
No, the only other thing I was going to do, and we've mentioned this a few times already, and you received this in an email, but I just wanted to point out for anyone, the patient and expert surveys that we mentioned are on the website. And so if you just go to the PDAB website, go to affordability reviews, and then you can see those surveys. And so feel free to share those broadly with anyone that you think would want to fill them out.
Perfect. Yeah, and thanks, Simon, for showing us exactly where those are. And one thing I will say too, because we did get a comment and they're like, oh, your survey only has 5 questions. And so one thing to remember is the surveys do have like a skip logic. So as you fill out the survey and answer certain questions a certain way, other questions will pop up and appear. So one person was like, only 5 questions, like you can't gather any information from this. It's like as you go through the survey, you'll see it expand and grow to depending on how questions are answered. So so yeah, just that's another thing to be aware of as you see the survey. Um, uh, there's more there than at first just meets the eye. So any other
I
general
do
question? Mhm.
I do have a question. This is Laura Berry. I'm wondering what you've already done to get responses to the survey. If you've already surveyed like doctors throughout the state, we have a very robust contacts network with the doctors throughout the state of Washington, but I don't want to duplicate things that you've already done.
So yeah, so we've sent out the survey so we have like, for example, an email list of people who are following the PDAB and other updates. So we have our Gov delivery list. We have some of our other like internal groups that are related to HCA. But yeah, if you have specific doctor lists, I'm there's enough different groups of people that I don't know that we would get everyone if all of us are hitting our things. And I'd rather have a little bit of duplication than miss people as well. So yeah, that would I would prefer to err on that side of caution rather than miss people. So
Thank you.
Ronnie?
So just a couple of questions about the patient survey. Is there a time frame, or what is the time frame for patients responding, and who have we reached out to so far for a patient survey?
Yeah, so in terms of timeframes, again, trying to look towards the end of the month, we'll see how our responses are as we come into March, and if we need a little bit more time to hit some more people, we can definitely adjust and extend a little bit as needed. So I'd rather give people, I'd rather open it up a little bit longer and give people too much time to answer than to be like, oh, you've got a week, hurry up and make it happen. And again, in terms of specific patients or patient groups, I think, the more help that we can get from our board members and advisory group members to hit some of those specific people, I think the better, because there's a lot of different people and a lot of different avenues to get this information out there. So, and again, I'd rather double dip a couple people than miss people.
So how many patients have responded so far?
I'd have to go back and take a look exactly what our response is. I know we've gotten at least a couple since we put it up last week, but I don't know it, right off the top of my head how many have
Got it.
responded. So.
Yes, and also just to chime in, the mailing list we have is the persons who signed up to our website or the groups, so they know about the PDAP, they know about what we're doing. But there are a lot of patients, clinicians, experts out there who may not be aware about this at all. So if you can reach out to them, that'll be a great help.
Yeah, my name is Sydney. I'm a pharmacist, and I have a lot of patients who are on Xtandi, and we have a specialty pharmacy that services a lot of patients on both these drugs. So I'm happy to share with my providers I work with and my patients and our specialty pharmacy to see if we can get, and I just think that there's a lot of people maybe that aren't even aware that of this awesome work. So I'm happy to share and hopefully get more responses that way.
Yeah, and I mean, again, this is PDABs across the country are all, it's still a relatively new concept. I mean, there's only a few states who have them. And so, yeah, I'm hoping as we do different outreach opportunities like this, and every year is where we're, doing different drugs and reaching out to different groups. Yeah, we'll be able to kind of keep continuing to increase that awareness, and yeah, especially those, the people that we know who are using the drug. So Sydney, that kind of help is fantastic, just to where we can target the people who are actually doing this and can get their thoughts. So, and then hopefully that'll continue to increase participation and interest from the wider public and audience as we go forward. So, yeah, thank you very much. Okay,
Another
Ronnie?
question?
Yep.
So, Ryan Moran and I spoke about the PDEB accomplishments or recent accomplishments in Colorado and Maryland. And he had shown some interest in attending the one of our meetings. Is that in the plans, or have you mentioned Ryan Moran or the Healthcare Authority Director's name? Is that in the plans for us?
Yeah. So, like I mentioned, we talked to him. It's been like 2 weeks ago or so now, thereabouts. And yeah, had a really good meeting. He's very excited about the work that we're doing. And yeah, we've invited him to the March meeting. He's a pretty busy guy, so I'm hoping he'll be able to make it. But yeah, he definitely wants to come to one of the meetings. So if we don't see him at the March one, then I would probably guess he would definitely make the May one. But yes, we've already forwarded in the invite. So
And my conversation was about what is happening in Colorado and Maryland. Are they going to attend and report at one of our meetings, or is that not in the agenda, future plans for the PDEB meetings?
I mean, that could be a potential thing. We keep in very close contact. We actually usually meet weekly with the other states just to see, hey, what's going on? How are things going? Lessons learned. So yeah, we very regularly talk to them, and we could invite them potentially to a meeting for a short state update. That that's not a bad idea. So I could chat with them and put that out there.
That was a conversation that I had with Ryan Moran. Uh, and you do report on what's going on in other states. That's been in, staff has your staff has come back to us or presented that at several meetings. So it's the recent changes or that have occurred in Colorado and Maryland that we might take advantage of if Ryan Moran brings his Maryland connections. He did work with the state of Maryland, so that was one of the offerings that he had talked about with us.
Yeah, no, and there, especially Colorado, just with some of the lawsuits going on, I think are of obviously particular interest, because Amgen has filed a second lawsuit, now that they have gone ahead with an upper payment limit over in Colorado. So that's something that we are also keeping a very close eye on. But of course, the wheels of justice turn slowly, so sometimes there's not exactly quick turnarounds on all of those issues, or at least not as quick as maybe we would like. But yeah, that's definitely something that's on our radar.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, anytime, Ronnie. And so then I think any other questions? Okay, so with our drug reviews starting to come together now, and really, the goal of this spring is to have the drug reviews and then try and determine affordability. Then the next step would then be upper payment limits. And so, of course, per our legislation, we don't have the ability to implement upper payment limits until 2027. But with that, I feel like the older I get, the faster years go. And so 2027 really is right around the corner, and especially when it comes to the rulemaking process here for the state of Washington, even though 2027 is still 10 months or 11 or 10 months away, the rulemaking process takes quite a bit of time. and you really have to almost start that about a year ahead. So there's certain things that we've also been putting together in terms of looking at other states and how they're doing UPLs and prepping us for next year, so that way we can start putting together our thoughts for that. So Simon, do you want to expand a little bit more in terms of things people can expect to see here in the not too distant future?
Yeah, happy to. So there's really two elements to this. One is the regulatory process, and so putting in place the Washington administrative codes to define how the board will put in place an upper payment limit. And as Mike described, that's a many months long process. There's periods for the public to review and to comment. We kind of have to do the drafting, work with the Attorney General's office and with the legal staff within HCA. So we're getting started on that work now, just to set a timeline, to get the processes in place, and then over the course of the year, start drafting the language and put it up for review. So that's one phase of the work. The other thing that happens in tandem is really figuring out the content of what those regulations say. So how do we put in place an upper payment limit? And like Mike mentioned, to do that, we're going to be looking at what have other states done, what are some of the options that have been put together by academics or experts in the field. And as soon as this March PDAB meeting, we're hoping to present some options to the board of these are the different methodologies that states have or could take to put in place an upper payment limit, such as tying the upper payment limit to a certain reference-based price or tying it to the cost of manufacturing the drug plus a certain profit markup. So we're working behind the scenes on putting together that presentation, sharing with the board members the different options that are out there for how to put in place an upper payment limit. And then the goal would be over the March, May, and even into the July meeting, if necessary, have discussions around those options and hopefully solidify a path forward for a methodology for how Washington State's PDAB would want to institute an upper payment limit. Once that methodology is solidified, then we can use that to draft the Washington Administrative Code, like I mentioned, and then that would then go again for another round of public review and comment before it's solidified. All of this taking place over the course of this year to hopefully be ready by January 1st, so that in 2027, when we are authorized by the legislation to put in place an upper payment limit, if the board would like to put in place upper payment limits, we'll be in a position to do so. That's the kind of a high level update, but happy to take any questions if anyone has any.
How flexible is the upper payment limit if someone decides that they're going to provide something and then there's changes that come through due to tariffs or other costs? I think suppliers have a lot of concern about bidding on something right now when there's so many unknowns.
Yeah, that's a good question. And Mike, feel free to chime in as well. I think that one answer to that is if you look at the legislation, there are certain triggers in place that the board is supposed to monitor how an upper payment limit were to impact access to the drugs. And so if there is something that, after an upper payment limit is set, changes in the market make it difficult for patients to access those drugs, then that there would have to be some sort of a pullback or a revision to the upper payment limit. That's one answer. And then the other one is the most solidified process of this, the writing of the Washington Administrative Codes, which takes many months. That sets in place a framework for how the methodologies through which an upper payment limit will be set. But each individual upper payment limit on a drug would be set by an act of the board. And so we wouldn't have to go through a months-long process to reverse something or edit something. It would really be an act taken by the board once they deem that there's an issue going on.
Yeah, thank you, Simon. And I think this is something too. One of the nice things is I guess where we're at in terms of our time. This is going to be one of the things that we have to discuss as we're going through and trying to create these methodologies as well. So I think that's a good point. And then the other nice thing is to because we have some other states like Colorado or Maryland who have already begun work on some of this stuff. We also have a little bit of an advantage in terms of seeing what they've done, you know, maybe how it works out. And so I think we can also, as we're going through these next few months, take these various factors into consideration and try and figure out how can we address this in our methodologies as well. So. But that's a great question. Okay. Any other questions? Okie doke. Well, I promise this would be short and sweet here. So really the two big takeaways are please share out the surveys as much as you can to your various groups. That's one of the biggest values that you guys have is your networks and being able to help disseminate this out. And then also advisory group members, you know, please also take the time to give us your thoughts in the report on these drugs, so that can help inform our drug review as we're putting that together. And again, trying to wrap up comments as much as we can on both topics by the end of the month. But if we need a little bit of time, reach out and we can reevaluate on both things as well too. So with that, I think that's all I have for today. So any other final thoughts, questions, curiosities, good jokes? Okay. Well, thank you all, and a pleasure as always chatting, and look forward to hearing from you more. And again, if you have any thoughts, questions, or comments, always feel free to reach out. So have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.